Enjoy this interview with Raj Bhaskar, CEO of Hurdlr, about how the app makes financial tracking for the self-employed freelancers of the world complete and easy.
Welcome, everyone, to Leverage's webinar. We have a very special guest today with Raj, the CEO of Hurdlr.
Thanks for having me, Nick. How are you?
Thanks for being here. So why don't you give us a quick explanation of what you do, what Hurdlr is, but from the look of it, it seems like a really powerful tool for automating your finance tracking.
Definitely. I try to help entrepreneurs better manage their finances so they can focus on what they do best. Most folks did not get into business to manage accounting. So that's simple. And when we created tools around that, basically to help folks leverage automation out there to capture valuable deductions and other things, make tax time a breeze. Just so it gets out of your way of growing your business.
So is there a demo that you can walk us through, or just talk us through like how it works and who's the target audience? Like what use cases is would this be useful for someone?
Sure. So our most of our users are solopreneurs, and we have different types, whether it's speakers, authors, experts. Every type of freelancer uses our app. We also have a significant number of Uber drivers even manage all their independent income. And so you basically log in and connect. You can connect our app with your bank account and credit card, and it'll automatically start tracking all your finances for you. And it'll better capture all your deductions, which is pretty important now, especially given all the changes to the tax code.
So there's some other tools that I've played around with, like Prosper Daily is one. But the ones that I guess, I'm curious to hear your point of view, but the ones that I've tested in the past is more for aggregating like different accounts or different credit cards so that you can approve transactions or be notified about recurring credit card transactions so that, you don't just forget that you've signed up for Hulu for $5 a month and it's like a year that you don't use it. So does yours do that too, or yours is really just focused on the tax optimization portion of that?
So a good chunk of ours is focused on tax optimization. But the first thing we do is we give entrepreneurs real-time profit. And so, profit, the traditional definition is income minus expenses. And so we're geared more towards your business or your different income streams. And then the second thing we do is we give you real-time tax estimates. So when I say real-time, I mean every day, any second you look at the phone throughout the year. So not just for your quarterly estimate and not just when it comes time to filing, because all entrepreneurs are on the hook for their own taxes. It's not taken out of a W-2 payment.
I see. So this is, when you say solopreneurs, like that also includes like contractors. Like, so at Leverage, everyone's a contractor, freelancer doing tasks. So would this be more of a tool for my team to be using as an independent contractor, or is this more of a tool that us at Leverage would use to track our expenses?
It's more for independent contractors and small business owners, but not it's not entirely for managing the small business accounting of, let's say, like a 20-person operation.
Okay, gotcha. And does it integrate with automation tools like Zapier and those types of things?
We're doing so we've done direct integrations with systems like Square, for example, FreshBooks. So we tap into where your income sources are coming from, in addition to the 10,000 banks and credit cards we connect to. So we haven't done like a Zapier yet, because we do our direct integrations.
Does it integrate with something like Slack so we can pull information into one place inside of Slack?
We haven't done that. You can export it to it, but we haven't done a Slack integration. We also haven't had requests for that. So we actually we have a couple 100,000 users, and they're good at sending us requests, and we monitor that, and then we work those into the pipeline.
Yeah, we're testing a tool right now for monitoring requests with a company called receptive.io. Is that what you've heard of that? Yeah, there's a cool Slack app called Sway, I believe, that we were using. But again, this is not for the independent. It's not what you're doing. It's like a breakdown of daily expenses, but from like a company's perspective. It's not automating tax optimization for an independent contractor.
Yeah, and we also do things like we have a built-in mileage tracker for capturing all your deductible mileage. That stuff adds up. I mean, most of our users, like average user, saves like $5,600 a year. So it's pretty significant.
So can you explain a little bit more how that works, the mileage tracker?
Sure.
You connect all of your frequent flyer accounts into this?
Oh, no, this is driving mileage. So deductible driving mileage.
Oh, I see. So like if you're an Uber driver or something like that.
Real estate agents. Or if you're driving to a client site, for example. Anytime you're driving for business purposes, you can deduct that mileage, and it adds up pretty quickly. A couple of miles is $1, roughly. It fluctuates every year. The government changes the rate by a half cent, a cent. So basically every 2 miles is roughly $1. So that adds up really quick.
Gotcha. So if you're an Uber driver, then I guess you can really get your expenses really high and like declare almost no income if you're driving a ton.
Yeah, it gets up there. And you kind of need, for an Uber driver in particular, you need to do that to actually make a decent pay from Uber.
Yeah. We got a question from Keenan. So he's asking, how does this app relate or interpolate with an accountant?
Yeah, so accountants love us because we make their job easier because we're giving them nice detailed reports. So you can either email a report directly from your phone to them from our app. It sends them all the details. Or we're actually launching in-app tax filing. But for the folks who work with accountants, they love us. We have a lot of accountants refer us out. So they see it as making their job easier so they can focus on more strategic services.
How are you able to know, though, mileage due to personal versus for the work? Like, how do you keep track of that distinction?
Yeah, there's a few different ways. So the simplest way is that the user swipes right for business, swipes left for personal. And there's a number of mileage trackers out there that kind of follow that same design pattern. We have other features in there that you can set your work hours. So if you're driving for work during a certain amount of hours, it'll just automatically classify those as work, and it's using GPS, of course. It's capturing all the locations and the routes and everything. So it's audit proof as well.
Gotcha. Is there a demo or something that we can see right now?
I didn't plan to show that. Apologize for that. But we do have all these videos like on hurdlr.com and YouTube that we have even videos for a different type of work. So like if you're a real estate agent versus an Uber driver, things like that, or freelancer, that show the different features.
Gotcha. Yeah, this is definitely. And what's the pricing? Because this is probably something that my team would be interested in using on a personal level.
So we follow a freemium model. So we actually give the automated mileage tracker away for free. And then there's premium features. So if you connect your bank account or expense accounts, that's where the deductions really add up, the savings. We charge for that, and it's fairly low price. It's on a monthly plan. It's just $6 a month. You can cancel anytime. I think $5.99, and then annual is it's $47.99, which comes out to $3.99 a month. So it's pretty inexpensive overall.
So the URL is HURDLR?
Correct.
.com?
You got it.
All right. Make sure I spelled that right. Does anyone have any questions for Raj? Where are you based out of, Raj?
We're based out of Washington, D.C., near the IRS.
Okay. In case you have any...
Yeah, we don't go there. But I will say one thing that I've seen in the last in particular, the last few weeks, a little bit of confusion because obviously the biggest change to the country's tax code just occurred, biggest change in decades. And I've seen a lot of misinformation out there. The key thing for, I think, folks on the call to know is that deductions haven't gone away. So your business deductions, most of them are still there. And the new 20% deduction for pass-through entities is after you take your common expense deductions. So it's really a bonus for most small business owners. There's some caveats, but it's not one or the other. You can actually still take the expense deductions and then knock 20% off of the remaining taxable income. So it's pretty good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How did you get into this, by the way?
So I used to have a financial and compliance platform for 10 years, software platform for public and affordable housing. I did that from 2000 to 2010. And then we started, after I exited that, I wanted to focus on helping entrepreneurs. And honestly, I hate accounting. I used to hate how I'd get my financial reports a month after the books closed as opposed to real time. And so I was really bent on real time. And I say I hated accounting so much I wanted to do something about it for entrepreneurs because you should be able to use the numbers to help you grow. Either that or at minimum, I feel like it should just stay out of your way. It should stay out of your way of business growth. So how do we get it there? So that's what I've been working on for about the past 5 years. And we've tracked like $6 billion in finances so far for our users and saved them $250 million in taxes. So I think we've done some good stuff. We have a lot of room to grow. And I like commoditizing these things as well. So you won't see big price products from us because we want to go for the masses and help out as many people as we can.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Well, does anyone have any questions for Raj? No? All right. So where can people find out more? Just hurdlr.com?
Yeah, hurdlr.com. You can either, or you can go to the App Store or Google Play, download the app. We also include live in-app chat. We've done that from day one. So our app's been out there for a few years now. And during normal business hours, you get a response in less than 5 minutes. And then our average is about 24 hours on the weekend. Sometimes 48 hours.
Can we ask tax questions or it's really just product related questions to your tool?
We get mostly tax questions. So you can ask whatever you want. We'll actually give you an answer. If it's tax related, we'll disclaim it because we don't necessarily know all of your background info, but we'll give you useful information. That's for sure.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So for $6 a month, you basically get access to also a little bit of tax advice. Okay, so we have a question from Keenan Brown. Does this integrate with accounting software?
It does not because it's an accounting package for the solopreneur. But it's possible we do something like that in the future.
And Joseph is an accountant and he's excited to check it out and hopefully it helps his clients. Just to confirm, does it provide live profit numbers? Because he's saying that would be a big deal for the solo business owners.
Oh yeah, real time, and so we have two definitions that I think Joseph will appreciate. One is I call it profit after tax, so income minus expenses minus taxes, because as you know, the small business owner, that's what they keep at the end of the day. And then we have the traditional definition of profit, and we just call that profit before tax. Both are real time. So to do that, we actually had to build a real-time income tax calculation engine, and we do that for all 50 states in DC in the US, Canada, and Australia. That engine doesn't exist anywhere. In most other places, you have to actually file your taxes to get the calculation. So we get you there along the way, and it's pretty powerful overall. Like we have some big banks testing it out, like top 5 banks in the country who may provide it as part of their banking solution.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So what's next on the roadmap for Hurdlr?
So I think what I just talked about with banks that we're exploring for them to use. So we have an API that our app uses our API, and the banks are testing out our API to potentially provide those calculations through through their banks to their millions of customers. So you don't necessarily have to use the Hurdlr app. It might come, those features may come into an app you already have on your phone. Right. So that's how we get to the masses. And that was the thing about commoditizing, is we can do this very cheap and help as many people as we can.
Very, very cool. Yeah, you can see in the chat, people are excited to see this real-time profit.
Yeah, real-time profit is like, it was just been a dream. And there's a lot of barriers to that. And that's where we try to hook in all your income streams, because now the modern entrepreneur has income streams from all over the place. You could have your business and other things going on, and then on top of that, you're an Airbnb host. Right? That's another income stream. So we're going to capture deductions for your Airbnb property as well. So all these different things that are going on, all those trends are there. And it's important, because if you don't know your expenses or your tax obligations, you're either leaving money on the table, or you may be overspending. You may be spending money that you actually don't have, because you're going to have to make some payments later in the year.
Gotcha. All right, guys, any other final questions for Raj? All right, well, this was a quick one, but this was really, really awesome. Thank you so much for your time. We're going to write a blog about this, and we'll send it over to you to share, and it'll have links to Hurdlr and all the notes from this meeting.
Cool.
Oh, one more question. Keenan, will this include 401k?
In what regards? Because your 401k shouldn't be taxable.
Keenan, you want me to promote you? You want to talk? Hey, just easier for you to...
It's easier to talk than it is to type.
Yeah.
No, I guess I'm an accountant by trade, and I manage other people's finances. So I'm like very excited about this product, because it is my number one pet peeve of dealing with this stuff. I guess with dealing with retirement accounts and brokerage accounts, because a lot of that also throws off the numbers necessarily than what comes with the net from your Schedule C. How does that going to get integrated in, or if it's in the pipeline?
So there's two things. So it can be accounted for in their tax profile setup in our app, and I can walk you through that offline, or I can have one of my team members walk you through that. Our customer success team is led by a CPA, and the other way through our API, we built in our real-time income tax calculation. We made it support all small businesses and self-employed, but we also built it out for investment income. So we're doing real-time tax calculations on portfolios. That's not through our app; that's through API. So we've been talking with some of the big investment platforms. But in the tax profile setup in our app, you can actually include those numbers in there.
All right. I guess the two things that I want to ask about that on that line of reasoning. Because one is dealing with your contribution at the end of the year. How much can you contribute to your retirement account to maximize the deduction, so that you can plan how much income do you take and declare how much income based on what you can deduct. And figuring that calculation out is a headache.
No, we're not doing that.
But you understand the essence of the question.
Yeah, I know what you're doing. Yeah, I try to max it every year too.
And so that won't be included.
That's not. It's not part of our app right now. But if you check it out, I mean, I'm happy to chat with you about how you think we should go about it.
All right. I guess secondly, regarding investment income and whatnot, I guess with the crypto is now being taxed as an asset as opposed to a currency, and all of the back and forth transactions have to be reported. Are you guys dealing with that or not?
Not yet, but it's in our pipeline.
Okay.
Yep.
Great question.
Yep. Yeah, we've been tracking that a bit. So our big thing this quarter was because of all the changes that IRS still hasn't put out the official guidance on it, but we're updating our engine to account for all of that. And then we have crypto in the pipeline as well.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a big year.
Oh yeah. From our side of the street, I very much concur in trying to keep it all straight.
Yeah.
And all of the if and scenarios that have to be accounted for is just makes your head spin.
Yep.
Hey, man, I'm excited about your app. I'm really want to look forward to checking it out.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's nice to see people excited about taxes.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, we have a lot of clients that are CPAs and accountants.
And this is a real good one there, Nick.
Solopreneurs. Sorry?
This is a real good one.
Okay, I'm glad that you liked it. You come to pretty much all of the webinars, so I'm glad that this one you really like. All right. Well, thank you very much, Raj, for your time. And guys, we'll stick around for a minute in case anyone has any last minute questions.
Thanks for having me, Nick. I really appreciate it.
Thanks.